5 games have already played out over the past 2 days here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Finally time for the Jaguars of South Alabama to begin their quest for a 4th Sun Belt Conference tournament, one of just 5 programs in the history of this league to ever claim the crown, and with it the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. Standing in their way, the Golden Eagles, your 4 seed this year out of Southern Miss, trying to end a 22-year drought to the big dance. You're watching the Sun Belt Conference on ESPN. It is our 4th and final quarterfinal on this Thursday in Lafayette, Louisiana. It is finally time for the Golden Eagles and the Jaguars to take their stage out on the dirt. Single elimination format. One team will move on to the semifinal against the Warhawks, your regular season champions who just survived a classic battle against Louisiana. Welcome back, everybody. Lincoln Rose along with Jenna Rose. And Jenna, again, as much softball as we have seen for these 2 teams, it's a brand new slate.
Hey, we love to see it. We're coming in with clear beginnings, clear heads, and they've been able to witness some amazing competition all throughout the tournament, so that will inspire them as these 2 are neck and neck in their records.
So much talent up and down these 2 rosters, but we dial in specifically for South Alabama on Olivia Brandstetter.
Oh, Olivia Brandstetter, she is excellent and dangerous with runners on base. She's going to make sure that she moves them around and is also going to boast that .542 slug percentage to get some pop in there as well.
Brandstetter, the junior, trying to guide, again, the Jaguars to their first conference crown since 2015. Plenty of pop will we see it here. You talk about prodigies. Last year as a freshman, Hannah Christian was first team all-conference. She again top honors this year as a sophomore.
Yes, most certainly when it comes to Hannah Christian, she just sees the ball so well at the plate. She can adjust the plane of her swing, bring in that launch angle when she needs to. You can try to pitch around her, but she's going to be able to square up on the ball.
When we come back, 4 seed Golden Eagles of Southern Miss, 5 seed Jaguars of South Alabama get their journey started in the quarterfinals. Introductions underway for South Alabama and Southern Miss. Let's take a look at our keys to victory, brought to you by Visit Lafayette.
We'll take a look here for South Alabama. They need a total team effort. Everyone needs to come in, understand their roles so that they can contribute. On the Southern Miss side of things, they need to generate traffic while they're on the base paths and attack early. For both of these teams, that's going to be pivotal, but it's up to them to see how they do.
In neutral site here in Lafayette, Louisiana, where the hosts, the 8 seed Ragin' Cajuns, despite a win yesterday, have now been, I would say, sent home. Maybe that's across the street, not sure, but Louisiana, Monroe, ULM, able to survive as your top seed. We've already seen the number 2 seed sent home. No shortage of upsets, but this is about as tight of a battle as you would expect. 4 seed versus 5 seed. You take a look at the lineup here for South Alabama.
For South Alabama, of course, they are going to put their best foot forward, and it all begins with the top 3. Brandstetter, one of our players to watch, truly rounds out the top of the order. And even when you get to the heart, it can get a little dicey if you're a defender, so they're eager to see how they can attribute.
Southern Miss won all 3 meetings during the regular season. Looking for a chance to knock off the Jaguars and advance their own cause. No complaints here. It is room temperature outside, but it's a little bit muggier than it is usually inside your living room for those of you tuning in on the ESPN app. 73%, but hey, this time of year, you're just happy that things are on schedule. The tarp crew has not been put to work as of yet. That might change tomorrow, but it looks like we're going to get our 4th quarterfinal in today. No sweat. Again, here in Lafayette, center field 220 straight away, 200 down the 2 lines at Yvette Gerard Field at Lamson Park. 5 teams have already been sent home. There's just one spot left in the semifinals to take on the Warhawks. It'll go to one of these 2 teams. Again, our umpiring crew, they've been busy already these first 2 days. We'll continue to see their familiar faces tomorrow, and depending on how they grade out, maybe even on the championship on Saturday.
Hey, every single team that has stepped onto this field has been aggressive. They want to make sure that they are putting their players in the best position if that means they have to go and review.
Even with the fact that Southern Miss swept the 3 meetings this year and has won the last 5 meetings overall, South Alabama owns the overall history that's understandable for a team that's been to NCAA tournaments in recent years, 2024 and before that 2021. Again, it was a run rule victory one day after they played to extra innings. That's just how softball goes, doesn't it? You scratch and claw, you fall one day in extra innings, and the next day the other team's running away with it. Kayla Giardina will be your starting pitcher out of Kenner, Louisiana.
Yeah, when it comes to the right-hander, Kayla Giardina, she's someone that can throw the changeup in for a strike, just continuing to make speeds. That's something that is so successful when you pull back the string and do so accurately. Also, along with mixing speeds, continuing to change eye levels. We've seen that a lot. We've seen some successful rise balls, and we've also seen a few misses over the course of the tournament. So really, for Giardina, it is up to them to be successful.
Take a look at the defense around her. 6 of those 154 innings were a perfect game against South Alabama. The 4th all-time perfect game for Southern Miss. Again, Bennett completes the battery with her. Troquill, McManus, Johnson, and Glasgow in the infield. Green, Gordon Sibley, and Christian in the outfield. Just about set to go. In 2 games yesterday. Both these teams received a bye by virtue of being top 6 seeds in the Sun Belt. Presley Lively gets us started.
Speaking of getting started here, we see that Giardina is able to work in for a first pitch strike. That is key against this tough lineup.
Lively leads the Sun Belt this year with a record 8 triples this season. 13 overall in her career. Is a South Alabama mark. South Alabama 13-11 on the year. Southern Miss 14-10. As the Golden Eagles get the nod as the 4 seed. As a result, are your home team.
Everyone's getting an opportunity to settle in. Those in the dugout are getting different looks with what's happening here in the circle, but it's so early in the game, it's just nice to tamper those emotions and rip off the Band-Aid, get right to it.
Giardina, that perfect game was one of 2 wins she got during the weekend series against South Alabama. It's not a given that the team you face in the tournament is one that you've played during the regular season. There's so many teams in the Sun Belt. You can't play everybody. It'll be fun to see Louisiana Tech sprinkled onto the schedule next year as they return to the Sun Belt Conference.
It's nice to go back in and create your game plan based on lived experience. You're looking at film, looking through a few stats, but there's the aspect of paralysis by analysis, and that can be a little overwhelming if you're ever meeting a foe that you haven't necessarily seen too often.
Lively battling here in the leadoff spot. And on the handle, gets around on that one. It was a rowdy environment, understandably, for the Battle on the Bayou Clash softball edition. Collision between Louisiana and ULM. And that great rivalry renewed. Teams from Alabama and Mississippi collide here in our nightcap. Full count. And this is already a small victory for South Alabama. As Kara Wine on deck, Olivia Brandstetter in the hole. I've seen a variety of the repertoire now from Giardina. And that was too close to take possibly ball 4.
Hey, all Lively needs to do is get the barrel on the ball. It doesn't have to be a hard hit, it just has to be a well-placed hit. She has the speed. She stretched some doubles into triples, and you take a look at her stats. 8 triples so far on the year, as well as 6 doubles. Says a lot about those wheels.
305 hitter trying to set the table. Will put this one in play. But Carrie Green underneath it, 1 away. A productive plate appearance, but Lively won't be rewarded by being able to run on the base paths.
She's showing that she can continue to push in through the count, so Giardina has to be ready when she sees her the next time around. They roll back to the top of this lineup. But I love that you could hear Green shouting all the way in left field. There weren't too many people around her, but I think that's key as an outfielder. You have to communicate with one another.
Kara Wine, the freshman today, your DP in the 2-hole. You've seen her help with a void at catcher at times this year. Also seen her in the outfield, and of course here as your designated player. Talking to Becky Clark of South Alabama, who I hope she has her voice back. Again, she was a little under the weather coming into this week. Most of our correspondence with her was written. Ultimately, Wine at the plate. She looks back at the series against Southern Miss when they were swept. Probably their worst overall series, she says, performance-wise. The effort was certainly there on their part. It just never translated onto the scoreboard. Even when they came close in extra innings, just didn't seem to get any little thing to bounce their way, but did take away a lot from that series. And that was a couple of weekends ago. The 1-2 from Giardina to Wine. South Alabama not in the tournament last year, as Becky Clark gets them back in the hunt for a title. 20 years at the helm. She herself a product of the University of Mobile. Her entire staff, former Jaguars, and Coach McCain and Coach Campbell.
Wine doing their absolute best to see the ball well, keeping their head on it every time they've tried to get a piece of it.
She did manage to snag Kelly Horn from Troy after she graduated a couple years ago. And for Natalie Poole, former McNeese Cowgirl in her playing days, 4th year at the helm of Southern Miss, 25th year overall as a head coach. Remember, Southern Miss was voted 11th this year in the preseason, so when 10 teams are meant to qualify, that means her peers did not think Southern Miss was going to make that cut. Here they are as your number 4 seed, despite graduating. And here's what you understand from her peers. They saw she graduated 12 seniors last year of a 33-win squad. Slipping in the box, it'll still drop down for a base hit, as Kara Wine is on.
So impressive by Kara Wine, losing her footing as she's trying to get into her rhythm and timing, strong load, and attack the ball with power. I mean, we're seeing a few different looks here, mixing speeds, changing eye levels here from inside the circle. So still being able to send it out to the outfield with some power as a liner is very impressive.
And they will run here early for Wine as they go with Edie Gavin. They have seen some of the earlier games, and they know that you are not guaranteed many opportunities to claim a lead. We've only seen one team come back from a deficit these first 2 days. That was Texas State earlier today, avoiding the upset as a 3 seed to the 6 seed JMU.
It is such a mental shift as you're working from playing in a series against a team to now you're in single elimination tournament style play.
Everybody just playing a little tighter with some nerves. Not a lot of foul ground here. Brandstetter, whom we highlighted at the top of the broadcast, at the plate with 1 on, 1 out.
She's dangerous with runners on. She's sent 28 across the plate herself, also has some power with 7 home runs. In talking to Coach Poole at Southern Miss, looking back at the series against South Alabama, one which they did sweep. Again, she was especially proud of Kayla Giardina. It's one thing to go out there and win game 1, but to be able to come back when a team's familiar with you game 3 and perform as well as she did, just built even more confidence in her ace. You have to continue to push, make adjustments, and sometimes you're throwing some pitches not even for a strike, just to give some of your other balls life, give it a different look, or maybe even staying in the low in the zone, try to make your velocity seem harder.
Of course, Southern Miss last weekend had a date with ULM, the eventual regular season champions. One on, one out. Payoff pitch for Brandstetter. A dead ball as it hits her in the batter's box. And pinch runner Gavin.
Already showing that speed, rounding 2 to come on back into 1.
In 2 games yesterday in the first round, 4 quarterfinals today. We'll trim it back down to 2 semifinals tomorrow. We already know 3 of the 4 teams playing tomorrow. The 4th will emerge from this game. Well hit, struck into left. But with that ball hit into left, Gavin can't advance beyond second. 2 on, 1 away. Back-to-back singles.
Brandstetter times that one up perfectly. She has a quiet load, able to adjust a little off balance, but still, that's going to be a hard chopper, break through the infield, and with the retrieval is green. Now with that speed we have in Gavin in place of Wine on 2. This is a great situation for South Alabama, and it's so fun to see a team that's getting things moving early in a game. We haven't seen too much of that so far in the tournament.
So a chat with the 2 base runners in batter while there's a meeting in the circle with Coach Natalie Poole. We talk about the injury bug. I mean, Southern Miss had the luxury of 6 players have started every single game this year. That helps Natalie Poole fill out that lineup each and every day. It's a young group, we mentioned, replacing 12 seniors. As this is Virginia Membelli. I don't know if there are direct flights from Italy to Mobile and the surrounding areas.
Well, what I think is fascinating here is that you talked about the fact that South Alabama, some of the peers weren't necessarily giving them a second glance in the preseason polls.
Oh, this could be an international incident. Bases loaded.
Gotta walk that one off. Never feels good, but would much rather take it in the back than maybe getting something on the arms. A little tough to help you or ensure you're not making any more moves playing.
That one gets away from Giardina.
But for South Alabama, they're hoping to defy expectations, and that's been the story for Coastal Carolina each time, coming in as a 10th seed, right? And they've continued to prove some of the naysayers wrong.
Last year's champions, Coastal Carolina, looking to have another Cinderella run. Here's Gracie Dees with bases loaded. All the infield is playing a step or 2 in. Priority would be to get the out at home. Again, the teams that have scored first have won 4 of the first 5 games this week. Dees finds that one foul. And Gracie, just a freshman. She is nearing the doubles record for a single season. She and the woman on deck, Lily Stagner, have been teammates much of their softball playing days since age 4. Went to different high schools, but then got to play against each other, but reuniting here in the college game. Let's see if South Alabama can have a 4th straight Jaguar reach. If so, they're going to have a lead to work with because bases are loaded. With 1 out, Giardina retired the first batter. There will be no perfect game today, and so close to making the catch. Was there interference? Our umpires are going to come together and ask whether perhaps there was interference. This is not prompted by a coach.
I'd love to watch it back again. It sometimes feel like things happen so fast here in the game of softball. It's a fast-paced game, a lot of moving parts.
Gavin, the pinch runner on third, the runner in question. This ball drops foul.
There's the replay one more time. You can see at the very least that
no interference at third base. Southern Miss would like to review that place on the third review.
All right, Southern Miss will ask them to review it. And I don't have an easy answer for you based on what we saw.
Well, I guess that's supposed to be my job here, Lincoln.
Okay.
And I also don't have an easy answer. But it seems as though
I was trying to bear the burden there.
I know, this is the look that we have here. It seems as though Gavin does her best to get back on base, but I think that's what makes it almost a little trickier with...
She went from point A to point B.
Yeah. I generally don't think that there's much that you can do there.
We are not pitching a perfect game when it comes to predicting what these
No, we are
outcomes
not.
are going to be today. This is the least confident I am about one today. It did not appear that Gavin could do anything. Obviously, she needs to be able to get back safely to a bag, especially if someone's going to catch a ball and have a chance to double her off. And review is on site. And the question is whether or not Gavin would be ruled out. The latter part is not relevant here.
Shout out to our awesome crew for putting that up there as we take a look through the NCAA rulebook.
Bases loaded at the moment with one out. Southern Miss would love to hear batter is out due to runner is out due to interference. And it would certainly help that it's the runner on third, but boy, I don't know what else Gavin could have done there. Give me another look. Went straight back to the base. I don't think you can even begin to calculate. Maybe I can interfere with this defender during the time it took her to get back. Let's get your verdict. Bases loaded and one out, or something different?
After review, the call in the field has been changed. The runner is out. The count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. Because of the call being changed, Southern Miss is not charged with a challenge. They have 2 challenges remaining.
It's just bad luck for Gavin, the pinch runner. There is nothing she could do other than just freeze, at which point she's vulnerable off the bag once that ball is caught. And there are a few rules in this game that, again, the rule is the rule. It's not about the intention. And Gavin out for the second out, and now you have runners on second and first. But a pass ball or wild pitch doesn't cost you a run here. And the count is 1-2 to Gracie Dees.
Well, a bit of a pause there. Now they're going to get right back to it here. South Alabama going to put it in the rear view and try to make something happen here with 2 down.
This one out towards left as the 2 fielders collide, and again running with 2 outs is Brandstetter. She comes home. Jaguars, in the most improbable fashion, still managed to score this inning.
Already have a runner on third who was hit by a pitch. That was Mombelli. Now Dees setting that one sky high, and this is what's so important as outfielders. You have to be in communication with one another. This is something that I complimented earlier, but at the end of the day, outfielders are always going to have priority over the infielders, even though that's the shortstop, one of the captains of the infield. It is always going to be outfielders having priority over the innies.
Again, because there were 2 outs, runners were going no matter what. That allows Brandstetter to score from second, and from first to third goes the Italian Mombelli. And Gracie Dees joins them in scoring position as well with 2 outs. Here's Lily Stagner. And this may be a moot point in a moment. Jaguars pouncing, given second life here in the first inning. As Stagner sends that one for a ride here in Lafayette.
Lily Stagner, she's the kind of player that has flashes of power. Already 4 home runs so far on the season. Even though she's a bit of a lower consistency presence at the plate, swinging .203, and this moment comes up big. And this is with South Alabama taking advantage of little mistakes, little details, pitchers not even being able to hit the spots, hitting a batter, and as well, a bit of miscommunication that could have been a flyout over in left field. They'll just continue to pad the damage.
It is just a Stagner family tradition. Her sister Gabby last year setting the career home run mark before moving on. And now little sis, the freshman, with the blast here on the big stage. It's a 4-run top of the first, an inning that should have ended with a 0 in the top half, and Southern Miss grabbing their bats. Ansley Smith just trying to continue whatever this good fortune is. Obviously, they had the bad luck of Gavin being ruled out at third, but after that, it's as if Rasheed Wallace was a softball fan.
Giardina needs to be the one to seal this deal, whether it be in using weak contact, trying to record a strikeout, just to end the threat.
McManus, and you don't take any out for granted, but there it is. But it's one batter too late. Lily Stagner with the home run, a 3-run blast to make it a 4-run top of the first for the Jaguars. Southern Miss just now grabbing their bats for the first time. Hannah Christian and company have some work to do. The 3 lefties at the top of the order for Coach Natalie Poole. They've already surrendered more runs to Southern Alabama than they conceded in that weekend that they swept against the Jaguars.
The Golden Eagles are just going to put this in the rear view, begin with a clean slate, and approach the bottom of the first with some energy. You can't come in flat. If you come in flat, you're not even going to be able to get the momentum that we saw South Alabama be able to possess.
South Alabama, that 4 spot at the top of the first. An inning that, if you get that final out instead of your left fielder and shortstop colliding, get out unfazed. Here's Riley Harrison.
Riley Harrison with an ERA of 2.5, just coming in, really trying to deal. Nice to dial in. First pitch strike. As they continue to find their command, they can expand the zone from there.
Harrison, the returning ace this year for South Alabama. First team all-conference, but been limited in the past by a back injury. Healthy this year. She's recognized twice this year as pitcher of the week in the Sun Belt. And she's been entrusted with a 4-run lead.
Some nice movement there. Count goes 2-2.
And a backwards K. A little extra flair from Riley Harrison. An explanation for Hannah Christian.
Yeah, Hannah Christian laid off the pitch the first time she saw it. So in this situation, the pitcher goes, hey, I think we're going to work back there one more time.
Ansley Smith behind the plate made it even prettier. And I'll make way for Carrie Green. Been steady her 2 years on campus. Here in the 2-hole this year. Regularly in the top of the lineup. Can't get the butt down on her first try, 1-1.
We've seen how critical small ball has been throughout the course of this tournament. You have to be able to get those bunts down. Even if there's no one on, you're just trying to make something happen, get on base. It's a big part of the game.
This is a Southern Miss program. Back-to-back trips to Oklahoma City back in 1999 and 2000. For some of us, that doesn't seem long ago. For these players, it was literally a lifetime ago. And their last trip to the NCAA tournament overall, 2004. They're looking for their first Sun Belt Conference tournament. Just 5 programs all time have claimed the Sun Belt tournament crown, with our host, Louisiana, hogging 18 of the championship trophies. After that, Texas State, or pardon me, after that, South Alabama, with 3 of them, is the most decorated program, winning back-to-back in 12 and 13 and again in 15. It's back-to-back strikeouts for Harrison. This one's swinging.
Harrison just doing a phenomenal job of staying low in the zone, staying away from these lefty bats, doing so with what feels like ease. See if
Julia Glasgow, the freshman, can spark something here. Mentioned South Alabama did not qualify last year, finishing 11th. This year, the 5 seed, easily qualifying. Southern Miss last year, one and done, as they fell to Coastal Carolina, the eventual champion at Troy. Glasgow, again, talk about just raising your hand, doing whatever's needed for the team. She's playing first base, but really more of a middle infielder or outfielder. But there was a job opening at first base, and both with her defense and her bat, it has been impossible to keep her out of the lineup. Not tempted as the count goes 2-2.
Here for Harrison, she's understanding that dealing with back-to-back left-handed bats, she was really working low and outside. So for Glasgow, wanting to give a really different look and sneaking up.
How about striking out the side in response to your teammates giving you a 4-run lead in your first game this week in Lafayette at the Sun Belt Championship? Through 1, South Alabama looking for more in the top of the second.
Hey, you know what? I'd say that it is a major confidence boost. Look at that. Phenomenal movement, break on the outer half of the plate. Able to sprinkle in a few different looks, but getting the job done.
The 2026 Sun Belt Softball Championship is brought to you by SoldOut.com, the official ticket resale marketplace for the Sun Belt Conference. By Visit Pensacola. Credit Union One. Discover better banking for all at CU1.com. Experience the new era of ticketing with Vivenue, the official ticketing platform of the Sun Belt. And by Visit Lafayette. Enter for a chance to win a getaway to Lafayette, Louisiana. Enter now at sunbeltsports.org. Jaguars brought 8 batters to the plate ultimately in the first inning, scoring half of them. So, pardon me, I should say 7. Here's the 8-hole for the first time. Caitlin Gavin leading things off. followed by Brooklyn Bachhaus in the top of the order. As again, Kayla Giardina with 2 wins this year, including that perfect game run rule victory against South Alabama. It is a bumpier course this time around against the Jaguars. Let's see if she can just get settled in. It looked like they had caught a break when, with bases loaded and 1 out, a runner was called for interference, literally straying about 6 feet from the bag, trying to get back. The rules are the rules. 1 moment later, you had out number 3 within your grasp, and 2 defenders collide. Ball drops. Next batter launches one over the outfield wall.
Well, you think back to those moments, and even for Mombelli, who was hit by a pitch too, you have to be able to locate your spots, not get in that danger zone of issuing a free pass. So if you think about cleaning up those little things, that wouldn't have resulted in the 3-run shot that we saw from Stagner. It would have been out.
Caitlin Gavin, the Floridian, battling right now behind the count 1-2. In South Alabama, 11 newcomers of their own this year. 4 freshmen, 7 transfers. Slowly things have all come together for Becky Clark's squad. What hasn't worked for them was they came in with 2 quality catchers and lost them both. Megan Davidson and Morgan Hall both suffered injuries early in the year, missed the entire season. Davidson was your returning incumbent at catcher. Now towards right. Better communication this time, but still an adventure. Christian makes the catch, 1 away.
There was a moment of hesitation, a little bit of miscommunication, I would argue, but the ball is caught, and that's all that matters.
All right, time for the 9-hole hitter. And Brooklyn Bachhaus try to turn this lineup over to Presley Lively. Bachhaus, one of the seniors for the Jaguars, able to get back into the conference tournament this year. In a couple years, qualified for their most recent NCAA tournament.
Nice location there by Giardina. I feel like she's really been able to dial in this time around. It's always a little humbling when you have a home run hit off you, not just 1 run going across, but 3 total.
He'll punch this out towards right. And Christian has been tested twice and is coming away with 2 outs.
Says a lot about South Alabama, though. They're able to get their barrels around it, maybe just a little underneath it. You're seeing some air time as they hang up their outfielders camping underneath it, but it'll roll over. Set the table for Lively here, who had a fly out to left.
Lively was 1 for 10 this year in that series against the Golden Eagles. Flied out to left back in the first, 0 for 1 today. Coming in, already playing a step forward. Good recovery by Maddie Johnson over to Glasgow. That is a 3-up, 3-down response. After conceding 4 in the first, a perfect second onto the home half. University of Louisiana, once again, the great host. As our coverage brought to you by Visit Lafayette. A reminder, you can enter a chance to win a getaway to Lafayette, Louisiana. Enter now at sunbeltsports.org. Again, such a great place. Obviously, there's more to do than take in some college softball. But boy, have we been spoiled over the first 2 of these 4 days. Raging Cajun presence will still be felt despite the fact that they were eliminated earlier today by ULM.
We've seen some elite matchups, players come up big and meet the moment, some nice long balls, action-packed softball, but I think what I'd love to see more is a few more diving catches here, Lincoln. I think that'd be really exciting. We've only seen a few over the course of the last few days here.
After this game, you can go out there and show them how it's done.
Oh, yeah, you know.
Yeah.
And that wasn't to any knack of the players. I just mean for how the ball is falling in the outfield or infield. We've only seen, you know, a couple.
It was just tempting.
Yeah, it's fun.
Casey Bennett, your cleanup hitter again. Riley Harrison has faced 4 Golden Eagles. Strikeout, 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 strikeout.
Absolutely insane pitch placement. We've heard about college coaches talking about some of their arms that are in the circle that if they placed a pebble on the plate, they'd be able to hit it. And I think with a pitcher like Harrison, she's someone who'd be able to accomplish this task.
She is your reigning Sun Belt Pitcher of the Week. We mentioned got the honor twice this year.
For good reason. She is absolutely dealing.
Here's Kinsley Gordon Sibley. Diamonds were a central theme in her wedding. Married a baseball player from Southern Miss, Cross Sibley. And she'll get this one to drop down. First base hit for Southern Miss, courtesy of the Misses.
That was such a perfect sound for the crack of the bat. You could tell that she just squared up on this one, keeps her head down, eyes on the ball, moves her hands through the zone, and works all the way to extension. Just a nice liner, falling right by the SBC logo. Bachhaus fires it in, but great work over by number 6.
Here's Issy Coker, a freshman who won the DP job this year.
But I think the first hit of the game here for Southern Miss just goes to show that with the velocity that we're seeing here out of the circle, if you square up on it, it's going to go for a ride.
That one pulled foul. Yeah, 4 straight strikeouts followed by the single. Kinsley Gordon Sibley, the runner on first right now. Riley Harrison, every pitch she has thrown today has been with a 4-run lead. This one out towards center, and the runner will get back to first in time, 2 away. And you love to see pitchers respond to a lead the way Harrison has. Sometimes pitchers still want to be perfect and just paint the edges, and all of a sudden you're giving up free passes, and that 4-run lead starts to evaporate, dwindling down.
I think when it comes to Harrison, she just exudes confidence. This is almost muscle memory to a point. She picks the location, they discuss what needs to come out from her arsenal, boom, done.
But be willing to trust your defense. Of course, she had the benefit of 4 strikeouts, but now a single and a line out, 2 away. She talks to Ansley Smith, her catcher.
As a catcher, you see so much up close when you're behind the dish, especially when it comes to maybe some minute movements in mechanics. Maybe you're getting some different information or a different viewpoint than what you typically see from the field.
Troquill, much of this year, has led the nation in being hit by pitch.
Hey, that's what'll happen when you crowd the plate, but I mean, as a collegiate hitter that also liked to crowd the plate, it was just nice to eliminate any opportunities there on the outer half of the plate. Love that pull side pop, so if you're able to work it inside, the better you bring your fast hands in.
24 times she has been HBP. Natalie Poole says she's a woman of few words, but just goes out there and gets the job done. Among the words that she probably does use, ow. 2 outs, run on first. Gordon Sibley had that single. Couple of batters ago. Troquill. And we're back to the original script. That is 5 strikeouts through 2 innings from Riley Harrison. Jaguars eyeing a berth in the semifinals tomorrow, but still a lot more to be played here on this quarterfinal Thursday.
The heart of Louisiana's Cajun and Creole country, a melting pot of generations passing along a recipe of joie de vivre. Live music, boiled crawfish, and the smell of gumbo signify the season. This is Lafayette, a parish filled with culture and hospitality unlike any other. It takes more than a quick visit to understand why we're the happiest city in America. Start planning yours. Allons à Lafayette.
Credit Union One, a proud sponsor of the Sunbelt Conference, offers the best of everyday banking. CU1 members gain access to competitive products like high-yield checking, dedicated financial wellness resources to help you build a strong foundation for the future, and nationwide access through 24/7 digital and mobile banking and an expansive network of 130,000 ATMs from coast to coast. Discover better banking for all at cu1.com.
Two complete for two teams who have had to wait until the 6th game of the tournament to finally get underway and play some softball here in Lafayette. They both got yesterday off. That's their own fault. And they happen to be the nightcap in today's 4 quarterfinals.
Hey, it builds the anticipation, and you get to watch a lot of good softball. Maybe take some notes, see what inspires you, and just continue to live and breathe this game.
Congrats to their hotel lobbies. A little less hacky sack being played to kill the time. Carawine singled back in the first. And Gavin would come in and run for her. And we thought just bad luck was going to end the Jaguars' promising inning. But things started to bounce back their way. Kayla Giardina, though, settled in last inning, 3 up, 3 down with a couple of flyouts and a ground out. Let's see if she can continue that form here into the third, second time through the lineup. Molly Fickner and the ULM coaching staff able to hang on for their win earlier behind the plate, now scouting out their opposition, whether it be Jaguars or Golden Eagles. This one punched out towards right. Jen, I think your dad's sitting right by the microphone down there on the crowd.
Oh, yeah.
Living and dying with every play.
Yeah, that sounds like him. Car ride home was always fun after a tough outing.
1 away. Just be clear, her dad, not my dad. Just a coincidence. Here's Olivia Brandstetter. Brandstetter would ultimately score in the first. She came home before the home run by Stagner. This is catchable and ultimately cannot make the play.
I enjoy seeing the hustle, the speed, all 3 defenders making sure that they are there in that spot if they need to make the out. But it seems like there has been some hesitation. I mean, up at that point, you're up against the net. People are shouting. You can feel the others crashing around you trying to get the ball.
So second life for Brandstetter. This one more manageable for Christian. 2 away. 6 straight retired now for Giardina after the home run by Lily Stagner.
Here in the top of the second and top of the third, the outfielders are staying busy.
Mambelli hit right in the back her last time up. Scored on the home run from Stagner.
Just a little late on that one.
That ball hitting off the net before squeezed in by Casey Bennett. Mambelli trying to keep this inning alive with Gracie Dees on deck.
Giardina really able to work back into the strike zone in this at-bat.
None of those runs earned in the first. That doesn't make you feel any better about them. Mambelli underneath this one. Now towards left, calling for it, and making the catch is Green. Back-to-back perfect innings, facing the minimum for Giardina, trusting the defense behind her. As they will grab their bats once again. Back on Tuesday, leading into the conference tournament, it became official. This year's Sun Belt Conference Individual Award winners. Congratulations to your Player of the Year, also your Newcomer of the Year, Sydney Burko, coming over from Indiana to Marshall. Of course, your Pitcher of the Year, Madison Azua, still going strong this week with the 3rd seed Texas State. Haley Hart, 11th time a Freshman of the Year, has belonged to the women out of Lafayette. And of course, Molly Fichtner last year came up just short of a regular season crown, but still managed to get Coach of the Year honors. This year goes back-to-back with the individual honors. Shared some of the joy with her team, who ultimately last weekend locked up their first regular season title in the Sun Belt. Here's Neely McManus coming up for the first time today. McManus in the 8th spot in the lineup, followed by Madison Johnson in the 9th. Riley Harrison again, still working with a 4-run lead. Southern Miss, your home team today by virtue of being the 4 seed versus the 5 seed. Only one team has managed an upset this week, and they've done it twice. Coastal Carolina, to do basically what we saw them do all of last year. That's not care what the seeding was. Just show up and win each day. They did it 4 times in 4 days last year. They've done it the first 2 days here in Lafayette.
As we've mentioned, it doesn't matter what you come in as, but it is a little interesting here that we've got 4 and 5 going head-to-head.
In theory, your tightest battle, even though in this actual head-to-head, Southern Miss, we mentioned, took all 3.
Hey, South Alabama was able to capitalize on mistakes. If there was some clean fielding communication that took place, that door wouldn't have been opened.
Payoff pitch. It's ball 4. Leadoff walk. Second base runner today for Southern Miss.
And Southern Miss will gladly take that free ticket. Taking the walk there is McManus.
Gives way to Madison Johnson. Johnson started her career over at George Mason. Able to get the bunt down in the first try, but ultimately drifts foul. And so the runner will retreat back to first, and an 0-1 count for Johnson.
Pretty easy for Johnson to get down in the bunt position there. She keeps her barrel flat as she's getting in her rhythm and timing, so quickly able to swing it around. Good bat control, also great speed.
See the numbers on the year for the 9-hole hitter. 25 RBI. That's a foul ball when it's picked up by the catcher Smith. Who otherwise shows off her arm, would have had McManus at second for the lead out. And instead it's an 0-2 count to Johnson, unlikely squaring around here. Runner on first, Neely McManus after the leadoff walk. Johnson not biting on that one.
That's the hardest thing too when you're down 2 strikes. You were coming in with the mindset of like, okay, I gotta get this bunt down, and now you've gotta go in and swing. You don't want to swing out of your shoes. You want to be selective, and it's a hard balance to strike.
That time, fighting off a pitch that was close. And after Johnson, it's back to the top of the order with Hannah Christian. Riley Harrison watched her teammates give her a 4-run lead heading into the home half of the first. She then responded by striking out the side. 5 of the first 6 outs recorded by South Alabama was via strikeout.
That's the way to introduce yourself in this series, right?
The line out to center field is the only put out otherwise. Great job by our field crew. Obviously 2 days here. Revitalizing this surface before each game. And we're happy for them that they haven't also showed off their skills with the tarp.
Johnson able to stay in this one. She's been spoiling off a few pitches here, just trying to get in there.
The 1-2 to Johnson. And it's back into the strikeout column for Harrison. Her 6th now.
Harrison truly takes it to heart that this is a mental game. She's going to get inside the brains of the batters, try to make sure that, hey, I'm going to throw you in a few different looks and really throw you in for a curveball.
Time called, middle infielders chatting with a runner on first and 1 out. And McManus had the leadoff walk. Here we are back to the top of the order. Christian, the first of these 6 strikeout victims, the first time through the lineup for Riley Harrison. Christian was the only one who was caught looking at strike 3. Remember, she had follow-up questions.
She did. It was actually to a similar pitch of what we just saw there on the outer half of the plate. Some break as well.
And Christian, each of her first 2 years in college, first team all-conference in the Sun Belt. Last year set the freshman record for hits for the program, aided by a 15-game hitting streak last year. This year she's had 20 multi-hit games, just trying to get on for the first time here with 1 on, 1 out. The 0-2. Right back at Harrison, gets the lead out. Unable to turn 2, would have been ambitious. A nice job by Riley Harrison, turning and firing to retire McManus 2 away.
She's a commanding presence when she's in the circle and has that elite range too. We see that she's tall in stature, helps out with coverage.
Back to Kerry Green, over 1 today.
We've been sending a lot of kudos to Harrison here from in the booth, but I think one of the people that we have to talk about as well is Smith behind the plate. She's instrumental in helping make these calls, taking a look at what's happening in the batter's box, and really assisting with some framework here and there.
Smith has caught 9 runners stealing this year with that arm of hers. We mentioned she's the individual filling the void of 2 talented catchers lost before the season got started. After she was mainly an outfielder last year, she did play some catcher in high school. As Green will punch this one foul.
She definitely seems like a natural.
A 10-team field coming into this week has already been trimmed in half. A 6th team will see their championship hopes come to an end tonight. Yes, just 1 spot remains in tomorrow's semifinals. And those are currently scheduled for 3 o'clock between Texas State and Coastal Carolina back here on ESPN Plus, and then the nightcap, which would feature the winner of this game against ULM, the regular season champion, approximately 6 Central. But follow social media of your favorite team and the conference. There's always a chance this time of year that rain might move those games around. But we are currently slated for 3 and 6 otherwise.
Can we knock on wood somewhere?
Well, the bats are metal. We'll find something. The 1-2 offering from Harrison to Green. Deja vu. Harrison double dips against Carrie Green. Another strikeout for the resume.
Harrison just living on that outer half, finding success, throwing these batters off balance, and always coming in with a clutch celebration.
Final quarterfinal of the night. No 2 teams in the Sun Belt this year outperformed their preseason expectations than these 2 squads. We mentioned Southern Miss not even supposed to be here, supposedly the 11th choice in the preseason polls, while South Alabama was predicted to be the last team in at 10. Instead, this is our 4 versus 5 matchup.
It's so fascinating to see this when you have the context of watching what is happening in front of us, especially on the end of South Alabama, truly putting on a show.
Both starting pitchers still in this one. Kayla Giardina, after that first inning when 4 unearned runs came home, has retired the side in order, both in the 2nd and the 3rd innings. Those 7 straight retired, leading into Gracie Dees here. Dees was one of the 3 runners who came in on the home run from Stagner back in the 1st inning.
Good contact.
Also had a long fly ball in that at bat, looking to do so again.
There you start.
A couple of one of these days, I'll stop combining my words. One of these days, a couple of pitches that miss. We'll go back and edit that later.
There you go. There you go.
Free pass for Dees.
Oh, and take a look at that. Lily Stagner getting ready to come back to the plate. A fierce, dominant presence after that 3-run rip we saw earlier in today's game. Truly set the table and has given so much confidence to Riley Harrison, who's been dealing in the circle for South Alabama.
What a sway of emotions that inning. South Alabama threatening. All of a sudden, you had the runner called out at third, and they thought that might put an end to the inning before the scoring started. Next thing you know, a run came home, and then another batter later, a 3-shot.
It's funny how these moments start to trickle in here when the stage has been elevated. Stagner there, I think, actually gave a quick little wave to the camera to those that were seeing at home. But with that being said, she's someone that has had some extra base pop. We have seen 4 home runs, but sitting at an average that's a little over 200. Typically just has a selective eye, has drawn 15 walks over the year.
Freshman McDonald in to run for Dees. Fifth home run on the year for Stagner, a big one. Mentioned her sister Gabby last year set the career home run mark as well as RBI mark for South Alabama. I believe there is a younger Stagner waiting in the wings to perhaps be a future Jaguar. Did she do it again? That one will die down shy of the warning track. Carrie Green squeezes it in for out number 1.
Stagner just has tremendous power. You can see they're giving it a good home run swing, sitting back, watching it fly. Just didn't have enough juice to get over the wall. As someone who just consistently sees the ball well, I think she's probably having a lot of conversations in the dugout there with her teammates about what's been happening, what has made her so successful, or to at least get her barrel around it.
Ansley Smith, first pitch she sees, sends it in the gap to the wall. This could be trouble. McDonald rounding third, coming home, play at the plate, not in time. And they'll throw the ball away into center moments later, trying to catch Smith getting greedy. And Smith will happily stay right there at second base with the RBI.
Smith just continuing to swing through the ball, bringing so much power in every swing. We can see there she keeps her head on it, eyes on the ball, and a low line drive will do the job. You don't always need the flashy home run-esque swings. This will get the job done.
McDonald scoring from first, standing up. So a 5-run lead now. This inning a little more conventional. Leadoff walk has already come back to cost Giardina and Southern Miss. And Natalie Poole talking to her squad.
South Alabama just pushing the limits of what we've seen teams do already so far throughout the tournament, and all it really began with was getting on the board early, putting up 4 runs there in the top of the 4th. Also able to pad to that now here, another insurance run. We'll see how that continues to affect Harrison as she's in the circle, and of course her battery mate Smith, who have been calling excellent pitches.
So again, after having a perfect game, one of the bright spots this year in a run rule victory against South Alabama, things not going the way of Southern Miss's Giardina today, and not much of it her fault. Just some bad luck in that 4-run first inning, as we'll have a pitching change when we come back. Again, still a runner on, still threatening South Alabama with just 1 out. McCall Davis steps into the circle in game 2 against South Alabama earlier this year. She worked 5 innings of relief of just 1 hit softball, walking 1 and striking out 3 of the 15 Jaguars she faced. See if she can get them out of this inning without any more damage done. 1 run has already scored here in the 4th after the RBI single from Ansley Smith. Here's Caitlin Gavin. 0 for 1 today with a fly out to right field. And pardon me, they are going to hit for Gavin. Yes, this is Caden Dunn, the senior, whose first stop in the Sun Belt was at Troy. And again, just underneath that one is Green able to squeeze it for out number 2. She's recorded the 2 outs.
The key today for McCall Davis is just to continue to get comfortable there. And I mean, it has to be a little intimidating as a pitcher in the circle when a batter sends a deep fly ball out to left field with some pop. But her arsenal is built on movement and command rather than overwhelming velocity. So I think in her case, she just has to continue to get in her rhythm and timing as she tries to disrupt the batters.
Back to the 9th spot in the lineup, Brooklyn Bachhaus. Flied out to right, back in the 2nd, 0 for 1. And McCall Davis now your pitcher, facing her 2nd Jaguar in relief. Three, 4, and 5 hitters due up for Southern Miss next half inning. That deficit has grown to 5 with an insurance run here in the 4th. Ansley Smith with the RBI this inning, and Bachhaus bring her home. A 4-pitch walk to the 9-hole hitter, Bachhaus, who again was just batting a little over 100 coming into this week.
It'll be the 16th walk here that we've seen McCall Davis give up. As we mentioned before, she's coming in with 25 innings of work, just inching over that total now in this appearance.
They're going to go ahead and run for Ansley Smith at 2nd. As Gracie Joe Ward will come in. Again, running for Smith at 2nd. Bachhaus remains in the game at 1st after the walk.
You only get 1 shot on this stage, so you're going to try to put in some fast movers, some shakers.
6th batter of the inning, the 3rd to face McCall Davis. It's the top of the order, Presley Lively. Lively 0 for 2 today with a fly out and a ground out. But now only 3rd base unoccupied.
A lot can happen with 2 out.
Pitch in there for a strike on its own merit. As Lively had pulled the bat back.
Fans really getting into this at-bat here too, having a few choice comments.
Out of play. A 4-run first for South Alabama. Your number 5 seed looking for the slightest of upsets. We've seen all the higher teams prevail this week except Coastal Carolina, taking care of business as the 10 seed twice now in 2 days. Lively out towards Green in left. And Kerry Green responsible for all 3 outs with balls sent her way. Another run has come home for the Jaguars as the Golden Eagles now trail by 5. is now the home of MLB.tv. You can stream every out-of-market game live or on demand using the ESPN app. Blackout and other restrictions do apply. For more information, go to ESPN.com/MLB.tv. Well, when you're on the road, sometimes you got to bring your own fans.
I was going to say, what's a softball game without some props, right? You have the energy, some of the frills. You want to make sure that you're bringing the proper equipment.
As this back to live play, the bunt popped up foul, but that will drop harmlessly for Julia Glasgow. Just now coming up for the second time. Struck out to end the first inning against Riley Harrison. Harrison has struck out 7 of the 11 batters she has faced. The first time through the lineup, struck out 6, including Glasgow in the first inning. Well, she has another run of insurance to work with here in the fourth.
Glasgow has earned that spot in the 3-hole here for good reason. She's someone that just continues to barrel up balls. A bit of a tough outing here. First at bat, strikeout looking, but hoping to capitalize. This lineup has now had the opportunity to see her through.
Harrison mainly factored into game 1, won a complete game, but a loss to Southern Miss in that first game of the weekend series. She did come in late in game 3. Again, that was part of the perfect game for Giardina. A dream start for Harrison, both in run support and just she is in a zone, specifically the strike zone.
I think we talked about it at the top of the broadcast here, but Harrison just has that intense velocity. So if you're able to barrel something up, the exit velo is just going to jump off the bat there for the ball. So really just trying to get a barrel on it, see what can happen. Even if it's just through barely to extent or part into contact.
Full count to Glasgow. We'll stay full. Casey Bennett on deck, followed by Kinsley Gordon-Sibley. Again, the 3-2 misses low. A leadoff walk for Southern Miss's 3-hole hitter.
This is all that it can take to get something going. Glasgow now on base, able to draw the walk. That'll set the scene here for number 40 in Bennett. Second
straight inning, she's walked the leadoff hitter, did not have to pay for that last inning. Here's Casey Bennett, 0 for 1 among the strikeout victims. First pitch, high hop, still trying to get the out and somehow able to do so. Wow. Not by much.
What a heads-up play. Able to not only get ahead of yourself with making the throw, but concealing the ball as you get it there in your glove. I mean, working the hot corner, Brandsetter takes a few shifts over there to the left, makes the snag, gets the out.
And just because basically she has to slide into the bag, that slows her down. Still almost able to beat the throw, but clearly the right call. So Glasgow out, Bennett on the fielder's choice, 1 away. And already a single today for Gordon-Sibley. That one a little less dramatic. 2 outs.
She's just ready to rock. This is great, seeing a lot of action. And I mean, hey, if you're working on the hot corner, that's what you want. That's why you love that position, especially when you're taking on righties. Just some lift there in the air. Quick to know to get the lead runner.
A big cut from Issy Coker, who hit a line drive to center field. She was the first batter retired by something other than a strikeout. That was back in the second inning.
Harrison just makes it look easy whenever she's in the circle. Phenomenal location, movement, speed.
Here we go.
The 0-2. You walk the leadoff batter, and you get away with it. The last 2 innings, it's been that kind of day for Riley Harrison. Can do no wrong. As again, dealing.
Some heat like that, you are going to need the fan.
Safest bet to make sure your name is called by the selection committee is winning the whole thing and claiming the AQ out of the Sun Belt, but otherwise you're hoping for an at-large bid, and that's when RPI is probably your best correlation to strength of schedule and which teams get in. Marshall has already been eliminated earlier today, but had the best RPI coming into this week, the number 2 seed. Texas State right behind them, the 3 seed is still playing this week. They'll be in the semifinal tomorrow. And you had the regular season champion ULM in the mid-40s.
That's a storyline that'll continue to develop here as we bring you some more Sun Belt Conference softball championships.
Bottom third of the order. Pardon me, the 2, 3, and 4 is one of us forgot to flip our scorebook page over. Here's Kara Wine. Singled in the first, flied out in the third. And how her teammates don't sing Sweet Kara Wine in the dugout is beyond me.
It's funny you said that because I had to remind myself. I thought, I wonder how many folks accidentally call her Caroline.
Yeah, we'll do that by the end of the week.
There you go. There you go.
The freshman McCall Davis here in the circle for Southern Miss.
Faced 3 batters last inning, retiring 2 of the 3 to avoid any more damage being done after South Alabama added to their lead, making it 5-0. After that 4 spot in the first really set the tone for this game. The 3-2. Wine goes down and gets it. That'll drop in front of Green and left. Struggles to corral it, and it's extra bases to lead things off for Sweet Kara Wine.
And barreling up that ball, she was able to hit it in the sweet spot, able to work low in the zone, getting her eye levels down there as well as adjusting the plane of her swing. Hard hit ball, it's a tough stop when you're there in left field.
Yeah, straight up double for Wine. Here's Olivia Brandstetter, singled and scored in the first, flied out to right in the third. And they find more insurance for Riley Harrison, who has 8 strikeouts and a shutout start so far through 4 innings.
For South Alabama, collectively as a team, what they do so well at the plate is not only that they're selective, but they just swing through the ball.
And the Warhawks of ULM claimed their first ever regular season crown this year. They were so close last year, coming up just short on the final weekend. But the #1 seed today survived against their rivals, Louisiana, who just happened to be the host this year as the 8th seed. The Warhawks got to enjoy the comforts of the home dugout. It was an awkward look. But they're going to enjoy it the rest of the week as long as they keep playing. And they will play the winner of this one tomorrow night. Runner on second is Wine after her double. Brandstetter straight back to the backstop.
Over the course of this game, we take a look at the scoreboard there for South Alabama. They've been able to produce 5 runs off of 5 hits, and for Southern Miss, only able to record 1 so far in this ballgame.
Runner on second. Here comes the 1-2 with nobody out. And the count will stay right there. And Brandstetter, a little north of 300 batting average this year, 7 home runs, 28 RBI. Can she add to that RBI total here with Wine on second? And on the handle.
Good job.
Jammed a little bit there on the inside for Brandstetter.
And Nicole Davis in her first full inning of work in relief for the starter, Giardina. There's ball 2 after a couple of pitches had been fouled off by Brandstetter. And the leadoff double from Wine. See if they can advance her.
A pretty rare opportunity here for the freshman in McCall Davis. We talked about her having 25 innings of work entering this game. Not one of the arms that you typically see in there, but has earned the trust over the last few outings.
Left side gets through. That'll move Wine from second to third. That's not always a given with the ball hit into left. It got through the infield quickly. Off the bat of Brandstetter, back-to-back base hits to lead off this 5th inning. Now runners on the corners.
All right, Virginia.
Mount Belly, we saw that she was hit by a pitch in her first at-bat, then a fly over to left field. So someone who can continuously send the ball with power when they're given the opportunity.
.333 hitter this year, 7 home runs. Not sure what that translates to in euros. But again, a chance to just add to this cushion for Riley Harrison. The starting pitcher today for South Alabama.
Good eye.
It's slightly freeing being a batter in this opportunity. Yes, there's runners on the corners, but really no outs, low stress. You're up by 5. In the game of softball, things can flip on its head in a matter of seconds, so you do have to continue to pound that lead.
Second time tonight from a different pitcher this time around. Mount Belly hit by pitch. I love it.
Yeah, and I love seeing Harrison in the background really celebrating. She's been jazzed, performing well in the circle, but also showing the love there for her bats.
We've seen several batters these first 2 days be hit by pitch. Nobody's taken it more personally than Membelli. And that's going to be a prompt for a pitching change for Southern Miss, trailing by 5. As McCall Davis will give way. It's going to be bases loaded for your next arm for the Golden Eagles. Well, Southern Miss would have loved a scenario where Madeline Graham could be making her Sun Belt Tournament debut, the freshman, tomorrow. She has been #2 on this team in innings, and even that was a little surprise. They thought she might be a talented pitcher who had to wait patiently in the wings, but eventually had no choice but to give her the continued opportunities to be your #2. But here she comes in, your third pitcher used in this quarterfinal debut for the Southern Miss, the Golden Eagles.
For Madeline Graham, we'll see a slew of pitches coming in from her arsenal, but what you need to know is that it's going to be high velocity, and when it comes to her movement pitches, you're going to see some late break.
Gracie Dees has yet to be retired today. Most recently walked. Her pinch runner McDonald would score on her behalf last inning.
Good eye.
If you ask Virginia Mambelli, she thinks the reason why McCall Davis was ever in there was eventually to pitch to her and hit her. Just loved her walk down to first. Over the right side, that'll get through. And South Alabama looking to score 2. Throw is up the line. So Wine and Brandstetter again continue to help grow this lead for South Alabama, as Gracie Dees comes through with 2 RBI.
Dees putting on display the gap-to-gap power, doing all that they can. Johnson hit the dirt to try to make the stop, just couldn't do it. Goes through the infield and sets the table now. That'll bring up none other than Stagner, who had the 3-run shot to begin this game.
We'll note that Rachinate Franca from the Netherlands is running for the Italian. Mambelli on third. It's a little Model UN action there. Not a lot of Division I softball players from the Netherlands. Naturally, she began her journey in America at Odessa Junior College. She is your runner on third. Dees on second. That one gets through. Franca will come home. Dees will hold up at third. As Ansley Smith, or pardon me, Lily Stagner coming through with yet another RBI tonight, her 4th.
Lily Stagner has been on fire in this one. It came a little lower in the zone than what she anticipated, but it was a hard swing. Even though she topped the ball, comes through and skids across the dirt. And what's amazing with Lily Stagner, she's coming in average just barely over 200. She doesn't show that consistency necessarily lower through the order, but we see the glimpses of power. We've seen that in a few of her at-bats tonight.
Here's Ansley Smith. Remember, she's the one who ended the start of Kayla Giardina with what would be an RBI single back in the 4th inning, last inning, at the time making it 5-0. Obviously concerned for Southern Miss. There's an 8 spot on the board. It's about to be 9. This might be the last inning of softball tonight. Dees comes home the final 60 feet. Smith produces another RBI.
These South Alabama bats, they're just able to adjust to the swing in part and just to the ball that is coming high in the zone here. Spraying the field, working the gaps, sending runs across.
6 batters have come to the plate. None of them have been retired. 4 have already scored. You still have 2 on. And it's been worth the wait for the Jaguars. Caitlin Gavin 0 for 2 tonight with a couple of flyouts. Natalie Poole makes another trip to the circle. More than she had hoped when Giardina was pinned in for the start. And we'll see our 3rd pitching change. We'll have more on Briley Whittington, the freshman, when you rejoin us in Lafayette. Fourth pitcher used tonight for Southern Miss, Briley Whittington.
Well, when it comes to Briley Whittington, I think one of the things that makes her so victorious when she's in the circle is that she conceals the ball well, very elusive, and she can pull the string back with the change as well. You might see some glimpses of the rise coming in high in the zone, but when you're not really sure what's going to come your way, you've been seeing multiple pitchers come in, you're trying to gather your bearings. I think this is a point where Southern Miss just needs to get out of the inning, and this is their last shot.
She's the third pitcher of the inning. She's still charged with finding 3 outs this inning. Here's the 7th batter of the inning, Caitlin Gavin, 0 for 1 today with a fly out. A pinch hit for her, she'll put that in play. And able to pick it and get the out. The sacrifice bunt is successful, so even the out is productive. As that moves Stagner down to third and Smith to second.
That does seem to be the theme here, is that South Alabama, whatever they're doing, they're able to be productive, that's for sure. Executing on the small ball as well, keeping the defense guessing.
This is the second time they produced 4 runs in an inning, and they're still threatening. That was just the first out. As Brooklyn Bachhaus back at the plate, walked last inning.
Good out. Good out.
So we will head into the 5th inning. Southern Miss, who has yet to score, will have to score at least twice just to buy themselves another few outs and push this to a 6th inning. Now, if they want to score 17 runs in the bottom of the 5th, maybe they can turn the table. But right now, they just need to find 2 more outs here in the 5th to keep it a 9-run deficit.
Just have to take it one pitch at a time.
That's all right.
And these 2 teams played to an extra inning ball game in game 2 of their weekend series, and then it was the 6th inning perfect game run rule, 8-0 for Southern Miss. South Alabama trying to return the favor. This one down the line, foul. Remember, Bachhaus batting 115 on the year, walked last inning, and good contact there. Just sitting on 3 RBI this season. A chance to add to that with 2 teammates in scoring position.
For Briley Whittington, that is a sigh of relief. We saw that foul ball being sent pretty deep. Just gonna try to rein it in here.
Lays off that one, count goes full. First base is open, and it's back to the top of the order. Presley Lively. Stagner on third. You see Ansley Smith, the runner, on second.
Good. Way to hang.
Again, this is an opportunity for South Alabama to play freely. Not a lot of pressure on them. I mean, I think it's safe to say that insurance runs aren't at the top of the list here. I think it's just continuing to put on a good show.
Bases loaded, 1 out. 9th batter of the inning coming up. And it's the top of the order for South Alabama. It's back-to-back walks for Bachhaus.
Southern Miss has to find a way to get out of this inning. Let's see how they'd fare.
Lively doesn't mind these pitching changes. 0 for 3 today. A couple of flyouts and a ground out. An RBI single has Stagner now on third. Another RBI signal has Ansley Smith on second. The walk has Bachhaus at first to load the bases.
There's really only a few pitchers that we've seen come in, make an appearance in a game where they were able to get into the groove in their first at-bat. I feel like it's kind of a steady stream of balls that are being fed to batters as they're just trying to get their mechanics in, shake off some nerves, and most of them inheriting some pretty sticky situations.
The delay was some maintenance over at first base for the runner, Bachhaus. I believe getting a sliding glove on. Either that or she had a roast to pull out of the oven imminently.
Well, South Alabama is cooking.
I'd like to think here in the 4th game, we're just now hitting our stride. Top of the first, top of the 5th here. Presley Lively trying to extend the good times for South Alabama. Or Southern Miss finally gets to grab their bats, perhaps down to their final 3 outs. Lively gets to run the bases for the first time today. It is station to station. Everybody takes 60 feet. An RBI for Presley Lively as that pushes Stagner home for the 5th run in the 5th inning.
Lincoln, I can't even lie. I jumped when that liner came through the infield. That felt like it was just over the camera. Runners getting out of the way. They know that that is going to be down in the grass. Just some stellar work at the plate for South Alabama. Truly a full team effort, threats 1 through 9. And I've said that for a few teams here in this tournament, but South Alabama is really putting that to use.
And we are back to Kara Wine, the DP who got this inning started. Still just 1 out, and she comes up for the 2nd time. Two for 3 today, the freshman, including the double this inning, a single back in the 1st. Ansley Smith, your runner on 3rd right now. Bachhaus on 2nd with Lively joining them on the base paths. And another meeting inside the circle. Nothing new this inning. I mean, for, again, Southern Miss, fantastic year. We're not expected to be here after graduating those 12 seniors. They came in with high expectations. They liked the matchup against the team that they were able to sweep during the regular season in South Alabama, but the 1st inning really put them behind the 8 ball. They were so close to getting out of the inning, no damage done. 2 players come together, drop a ball. Next thing you know, a 3-run home run. And that was not the only blemish tonight, though. South Alabama now 10 runs on 10 hits and still threatening. Here in a 5-run 5th inning. The 2-2-1. Just constantly great contact. This ball hits off the heel of the glove, continues to the wall. And bases loaded now is bases cleared, all but the triple from Kara Wine. She started this inning with a double. She'll up her game, adding 3 more runs batted in.
These South Alabama bats are truly relentless. I was trying to think in my head, okay, if I was Whittington, what would I try to do? Would I try to work in the lower quadrant of the zone, trying to make sure they're topping the ball, or maybe stick to what works well with me with my rise and try to maybe get them just underneath it? But every single time an adjustment is made, South Alabama is able to do the same and find a payoff.
Again, the minutia is how will they score it? They're actually going to score it a single. That's understandable. Just mishandled in the outfield. This one hauled in, and that's just your 2nd out as Branstedter's retired after singling and scoring earlier this inning. 2 away. (13-0). South Alabama. And still threatening with that lone runner on 3rd. Wine.
This speaks volumes about South Alabama because every now and again, you're going to look at the score and say, okay, if they're able to put up a few runs in the first few frames of this game, you might not see some action later on. They're comfortable, they're confident. But here, they say that's not enough. They want to continue to add. They want to let everyone know that, hey, they're making a statement here in this tournament.
Mambelli's already been hit by pitch twice tonight, including once this inning. It's from 2 different pitchers. She's not trying to collect them all. And she faces Whittington for her first time. Wine on 3rd with 2 outs. 2-1 the count.
Whittington able to work back in 2 balls, 1 strike. Deep breath every time you step off the rubber and then get back to it. 2 outs now, but you don't want to be the batter that ends it. You want to keep this magic going. For Bombelli, you can tell in her stature and her swing mechanics that she can just send that ball for a ride. So even if she's not squaring it up the way that she'd like to, it's going with some heat off the barrel. Defenders, beware.
South Alabama had not scored 10 runs in a game this year, let alone 13. And Bombelli will be caught looking at strike 3. There's your third out, but not before 12 batters come to the plate. 8 of them cross the plate. It's 13-0 run rule in effect heading into the home half of the 5th inning. On to the home half of the 5th inning. Riley Harrison, again, every pitch she has thrown tonight has been with at least a 4-run lead.
Being able to capitalize, locate well, mixing of speeds. I mean, 8 strikeouts so far in this outing. You can't beat it. And the Southern Miss bats can't touch it.
Could be 3 outs away from sending South Alabama into the semifinal tomorrow night against #1 seed ULM. And it all began with that 4-run first inning. Harrison, your only pitcher used tonight for South Alabama. We've seen 4 different pitchers. Giardina obviously had reason for optimism, but frankly was just dealt some bad luck in that first inning and could not recover, as Southern Miss has not been given the chance to recover with the pitching from Riley Harrison.
And I don't think she's going to let off the gas anytime soon here. Bottom of the 5th.
The only problem with that last half inning in which she got 8 runs of insurance was you're sitting there idle and you're hoping she's doing a little warm-up toss just to stay loose. Bottom third of the order has perhaps the season on their shoulders for Southern Miss. Abby Troquel, it's just her 2nd time to the plate tonight. Struck out back in the 2nd.
A comeback isn't impossible.
This won't help.
There it is. There's
Stagner,
1.
first out. Gonna give way to Neely McManus, who walked back in the 3rd to lead off that inning. Twice tonight, Riley Harrison walked the leadoff batter and lived to tell about it with no damage done. Those were the last 2 innings. And she has struck out 8 tonight. The final out of each inning has been a strikeout for punctuation from Harrison. If she can be efficient here in the 5th, again, just get to rest that arm. And continue to get to be a factor the rest of the week.
Staying patient in the box there was McManus. I mean, a little uncharacteristic at this point, starting this at bat with 2 balls, able to work back in for a strike.
3-1 to McManus.
Going through her dry swings, getting that feel for
Let's go.
bringing her barrel back to contact. Trying to make it happen in the box.
Could not lay off that one. Count goes full.
There you go. Let's go. hit it right here, Riley.
9 strikeouts for Riley Harrison.
Some late movement for Harrison there into the circle. Just continues to throw these bats in for a loop.
And 8 runs have been the most support any pitcher been given all year for South Alabama. It had happened twice this year. They blew well past that 8-run threshold in the top half of the 5th. And Madison Johnson, 9-hole hitter, just now coming up for a second time. That'll do it. The Jaguars avenge the regular season sweep against Southern Miss. They'll end the run of the Golden Eagles, and as a result, the Jaguars play again tomorrow, where they will take on the regular season champion Warhawks tomorrow night in the semifinals here in the Sun Belt.
For South Alabama, it was a complete team effort. Everyone able to contribute to this. Obviously, one of the standouts there, Riley Harrison, what she was able to accomplish in the circle with her battery mate Smith behind the dish. And of course, every single bat coming in and making a statement.
Jaguars could be just 2 wins away from punching an automatic bid into the NCAA tournament tomorrow. Texas State, Coastal Carolina gets us started, followed by these Jaguars and ULM. Big thanks to our entire crew. What a day it was. All 4 quarterfinals playing out here in Lafayette. For Jenna Rose, I'm Lincoln Rose. We'll talk to you again tomorrow back here on ESPN Plus with our semifinal Friday.